Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're returning. Hi, hello. Welcome if you're new here, come on in. My name is Sienna and today I just needed to this is going to be a bit of a reading vlog, but I just needed to come on here and talk about one of my new favorite gay romances that I've just finished and read in like 2 days. And this book had the ability to get past the 100 milligrams of fluvoxamine that I'm on and make me cry, which at the moment has not been that easy. Like, I've not been crying every day like I used to. And so for something to make me cry, I had to really feel it, and this book made me feel it. And I never even heard of like this author of this book. And it's like my favorite romance besides Sunburn, because I loved Sunburn, but one of my favorite romances of this year, and I needed to talk about it. Like, I finished it because I devoured it in literally like a day or two, and I want to read the other book in this series, so I thought I would vlog it for you guys. So the book that I have just read and devoured, which again I had not heard of, I hadn't anything before, is About to Fall by Ash Jackson. And this book, oh, it was just so beautiful. Like, I'll obviously get into why I loved it so much, but one, the characters were just amazing, and the writing and the exploration specifically around like mental health and attachment and yeah, all these things that I guess to me are really important and touched a little bit close to home. But in this book, we are following our two main characters. So we are in like an ice skating world in this book. And we are following Adrian and Nico, who are two of the top skaters, which already off to a good start, because last year when the Olympics were happening, I became like obsessed with ice skating. Was it this year? My god, when were the Olympics? Time is like an illusion to me. Whenever the Winter Olympics are on, I became like obsessed with watching ice skating because it's just like incredible. Like, how do they move like that? I don't know, but yeah, I was like amazed and loved ice skating. And then this book is obviously about ice skating, and so in this book, like I said, we're following our two main characters. We're following Adrian, who is like the rebel ice skater. So he has like tattoos and piercings and his hair is pink, and the way he runs like his ice skating programs is not kind of like the classical pretty kind of ice skating. And he comes from a family where his parents are quite absent and are very much like, they're very wealthy and very much about like status and how they look to the world. And so he's never been in a relationship. He's just had a lot of like situationships and just slept with a lot of guys, but he's never had an actual relationship because his view around relationships is that they're not stable, they're not good. And I was like, wow, relatable. And then we have Nico, who is termed like the golden like prince of ice skating, and he is such a beautiful character and such a complex character. And he's been skating since he was really young because his uncle was a gold medalist skater, and so he's been he's been under his uncle as his coach for years. And where we kind of pick up, we start with seeing Nico. So just like trigger warnings for, I guess, like mental health and like overdosing and stuff like that. But we follow Nico after it wasn't a suicide attempt, but he was so anxious and just wanted to sleep, and he just kept taking sleeping pills, and that resulted in overdose, like an accidental overdose. And he then returns to ice skating after being in like a rehab facility, and after linking in with a therapist, he then returns like a month later to his ice skating rink, and that's where he sees that Adrian is now at the same ice skating rink under his uncle's coaching as well. And these two have been quite long-standing rivals. They just like get under each other's skin, and they've always been in competition of like championships and who is the best essentially. And so there's always been this strong kind of dislike towards each other. And then Nico comes back and Adrian is a part of the team, which he's obviously pissed and he's like, what the hell? And these two, they form like a little antagonizing time, and then they kind of have like a hate sex moment, and then it's kind of distant, and then they actually come together in an actual relationship. And this book was just so beautiful in that the characters were fleshed out characters. Like, as someone who has very much struggled with like their own mental health, especially anxiety, it was really nice to see the mental health and attachment of both of them explored in this book, and I could relate to both of them in different ways. And like I said, not much is getting past my antidepressant at the moment, but this book did, and I took videos of like some of my favorite kind of like lines from it, and I'll include that. But I really appreciated how kind of in depth we went into like Nico's anxiety and panic attacks and the perfectionistic need to be there for everyone and for everything to be perfect for other people while you're kind of drowning. And as someone who's also autistic, I think I really related to that, and I would query if Nico has OCD as well, but a lot of the things that he did I saw kind of like in myself. I guess meets Adrian, who is so, and then he meets Adrian, who is so unapologetically himself and just digs and digs at Nico until he gets the not perfect version of Nico, the one that isn't maybe palatable to like his coach and to his family. And it was so beautiful to see like Adrian, oh my god, see, I'm gonna cry just talking about it. Adrian wants the person underneath that, not just want this palatable version of Nico that everyone gets, and to just be. And one of my favorite like quotes from the book was that like Adrian just provides that space for him to be messy and to be complicated and to be an anxious wreck and to be a human being with, you know, complexities, whereas a lot of other people in his life and other relationships haven't kind of given him that space. And I just loved that, because when you find someone, even in friendships, but like it makes such a difference when you find people in your life who love and accept all of you, not just the like happy easy versions of you, but the complex messy people that we are, and versions of you, and the things that honestly just come with being a human, and especially a human who doesn't have great mental health. Like, that can feel really scary and feel like no one is going to kind of accept that or love you because of those things. And Adrian just loved Nico so much and just was there for him in such a beautiful way around his mental health, and the fact that they went to therapy together because they had opposite attachment styles of, you know, Nico being like quite avoidant of things but then also being anxious, and honestly both of them having disorganized attachment styles. But like how it is really hard when you come together and you don't know how to work through conflict without just like dipping, or you don't know how to kind of work through those things, your own internal things, let alone then in a relationship. And I just thought it was such a beautiful way of viewing mental health, and that they went to couples therapy so they could learn how to communicate and be there for each other, and it not be a negative thing or like they're failing, but it's just two people who have complex backgrounds coming together and wanting this to work and putting that effort in for each other. And it was just beautiful, like truly it was really beautiful. And like I said, I think it touched on a lot of things for me personally, and especially around the attachment stuff. Like, God, I was like, that'll be me in the future. And going to therapy and just all the things that come with being a human being, and a complex one at that. So yeah, I really loved not only like them as characters, but I loved their relationship. And I just love the way Adrian was like fully, he's like, no, you're who I want. This is what I want. How do we make this work? And just giving that, just, what is the word? What's the word? Oh my God, it slipped my mind. Unconditional love to Nico, and vice versa. But I think for Nico especially, he never wanted anyone to see the parts of him that he didn't think they would tolerate. And so for Adrian to come in, he loves him for exactly who he is, and loves him not just for certain aspects he gets from him, but for the whole person that is Nico. I just loved it, and I think they hit the mark exactly on that, finding someone who just actually gives you space to be messy and be complicated, and not take that and be like, oh, that's too much for me, is such a rarity, I think, in relationships sometimes, but also such a beautiful thing. And again, something I very much was like, oh, that's really hitting close to home, as someone who has been there, done that, where they think that for someone to love them, you have to kind of only present as this perfect, palatable version of yourself, and not the full version of who you are and your brain and the messiness that comes with it. So yeah, this book, like I said, made me cry. There were like some lines where I was like, oh my God, that hit a bit too close to home. And even now thinking about it, I'm like, wow, that was a beautiful book. An actual beautiful romance, like elements that I loved in it. So if you are looking for an ice skating gay romance that is just honestly really well written, has great characters, is beautiful. If you're an anxious person or you have attachment issues, this book I think will also really hit close to home, and I would highly recommend. And this was actually book 2 in a series, so we did meet the other character of the first book. So I've kind of read this in the wrong like order, but this was About to Fall was book 2, and the first book was About to Bloom. And this book, I've just started it this morning, is about Theo, or Matteo, who is a character that we meet in the second book, because him and Nico were in a relationship for a few years and they both just weren't doing well. So we have kind of seen, well, so I have kind of seen like Theo from Nico's perspective, and then also from where they kind of are doing competitions and stuff like that. But the first book is actually about Theo, and I'm really excited to read this. So this is about Theo and then Derek. And so Theo, he's also like a Canadian figure skater, and then Derek, he is a hockey captain. Theo is also from Toronto, which is where the second book takes place. It's Canadian figure skating and it's set in Toronto. And then in this first book, Theo has moved from Toronto to Chicago to stay with his brother, and he gets like a new coach and stuff like that. And so that's where he meets Derek, who is on his brother's hockey team. And like I said, I've literally just started this morning. I'm like in the first chapter still, I think. But I'm really intrigued to see Theo's book, which again, I probably should have read the other way, but I didn't even realize that I was reading it in the wrong order. But anyway, loved the second book, and I imagine I will love this first book as well, because Theo also already, just from what I saw in the second book, seemed like quite a complex kind of character. So I'm really intrigued to see where this first book goes and their relationship, and if it also makes me cry. But yeah, that is the reading update. I needed to come on and just talk about this book because I loved it so much. And like I said, I'm going to insert some footage of some of my favorite like quotes that I'd highlighted, which I actually highlighted quite a lot in that book. And then also I think there's a little clip of me crying, I'll add that in. And then I'm going to vlog me reading the second book. No, the first book. It's the first book, but I'm reading it again, wrong order. Read it in order. That probably would make more sense. But yeah, I'm going to start reading that. And I'll probably finish it quite soon because I devoured the second book. So yeah, that's the update. Hi, welcome to the vlog. Let's just read another great book. Hopefully. I'm sure it will be because the second book I'm obsessed with. So the first book I imagine is just as good. And welcome to a new favourite author, Ash Jackson. Never heard of her before. Love your writing. Love your books. Please keep making more. And I need to go to work soon, so I just wanted to pop on here, say hi, share my thoughts and opinions, and I will talk to you guys later when I am reading more. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll talk to you then. Bye! Good morning everyone. It is Saturday, it's the weekend, and I am going to see one of my friends. She's just come back from traveling. We're going for breakfast at 10. It's almost 10, so I just wanted to give a little catch up, a little reading update before I go and get a delicious matcha, which this place is the best. I'll film like where it is and what it looks like because it's so good. But I wanted to give a reading update on how About to Bloom by Ash Jackson is going, because I'm like, I want to say, yeah, like maybe just over halfway through it. And like I said in my last clip, which I feel like was a bit all over the place and a bit chaotic, but I guess that was just my brain on that day trying to form like a coherent thought, which it was struggling to do. But this is the first book in this series and I'm liking it. I'm still really enjoying it, but the second book was easily my favorite. I loved the second book so much, and I think I maybe just connected with the characters a bit more and liked the tropes a bit more as well. And so in this second book, I can't remember if I said or not in the first clip, it was honestly such chaos, but in the first book we're following Theo and Derek, who Theo is a figure skater who we see in the second book, but this is his book. And he has left Toronto and he's now in Chicago with his brother, and his brother plays on a National Hockey League, yeah, NHL team. And Derek is a hockey player, and that's how they kind of meet. And it's really sweet. Like, it is really, I'm enjoying seeing Derek show up for Theo in just such like a stable way. That must be such a change for Theo and what he's had previously, and it was going really well, really into it. And then it came with a daddy kink, and I am not yucking your yum. If you are into it, great. I am just not into any kind of like daddy or mummy based kinks, and they really make me like just externally and internally like, oh, a little bit. So they have now had like some sex scenes, and the second that came out I was like, and skip. So I am skipping through any kind of like smutty scenes, and you know, if that's for you, great, you'll love it. If it's not, just be mindful of that, because I normally do avoid a book that has like the daddy kind of kink in it personally, or mummy kink. But anyway, we're here. I really enjoy them as characters, so I'm just going to skip like the smut scenes. But yeah, like I said, I'm like over 50% of the way through it. I'm really enjoying seeing like Theo, I guess, his background. And again, I think this book goes into mental health really well around Theo and like his struggles with like just trigger warnings, but with self-harm and with eating disorder. And yeah, just what I imagine does come with, oh my god, what is happening? There's so much happening in my neighborhood at all times. But what I imagine is very much the reality of being a figure skater. Like, I think any professional sport, eating is always going to be a really big one, and mental health is going to be a big one, because it's such a high pressure cooker environment that I just honestly, I don't know how you remain sane in it, to be honest. But ice skating, I could particularly imagine, is so much around body image and eating and having to be like a certain weight, and all of those things obviously really fuck up your mental health a lot as well. What is happening? Something is going. Can you hear that? Is that a cat? I need to go investigate this. This is such an odd sound coming. I don't know what's happening. Is there a cat at our door? Hello? I can just see this like little sound. I don't know what it is. There were chickens in our yard the other day. I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna shut the door because it's so loud. Anyway, as I was saying, before I lose my absolute train of thought, what I was saying is essentially, I could imagine it's back again. I don't know. I'm gonna go back out here because it's less loud, but I can very much imagine that being a professional athlete would just come with a lot. Maybe I'll set you down here actually. Wow. Is that still recorded? Yeah. That being a professional athlete would come with a lot of mental health difficulties and a lot of stress, and yeah, it just seems like it would be a very hard place to be in. Oh my god, I need to go. I just saw the time. Anyway, that's the update. Halfway through it, enjoying it. Don't love the daddy kink, and I'll see you at the cafe / I will see you later when I'm doing some more reading. Anyway, it's the morning update. I'm gonna go. Bye. As a massive BTS fan, this was not what I was expecting in the book. I was not expecting a Spring Day cameo, but this is the best news. I love that song. It is so emotional. I cry whenever I listen to it, and now Theo is skating to it. I'm sorry. He has great taste. Look at the difference in my hair. This side, straight besides like one tiny curl. And then this side, so curly and perfect. This is the side I want my hair to look like all the time. This is the side it looks like normally. It's so random. Anyway, I don't know what the difference is. I just washed it and here we are. Two very different looks going on. So just pay attention to this side of my hair and face and ignore this side. But anyway, hi, hello. I'm gonna shut the window. Take two. I have finished About to Bloom by Ash Jackson. I actually finished it the other day. Oh, I'm gonna just do a little nip slip there. And I enjoyed it. So I was speaking about it the other day that I was like 50% of the way through it. And it had the daddy kink, which just isn't for me. I said, oh, just gonna skip that part. I did persevere and I kept reading it. I just like skipped over any of the smart kind of scenes and I did really enjoy it. It was really cute. Again, the second book in the series was definitely my favorite book and it made me feel all the feels. This book did not get past the fluvoxamine, unfortunately, for it. But the end, when I will include the little clip from when I was reading it, when he was dancing, when Theo was skating to Spring Day by BTS, that almost got me, because I love Spring Day and I love like BTS. If you can't tell, well, you can't really in this room, but we do actually have Tay Tay over here, but I live and breathe BTS. So like my biggest special interest ever besides reading. So the fact that BTS got a mention and then Spring Day was the song, I was like, oh, if I saw this in person, this would 100% get me, because Spring Day is so sad, but so beautiful. So I could only picture someone ice skating to that would actually be incredible. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said before, second book's still my favorite, but it's definitely a great series, and I'm really intrigued to see how if there's a third book, who the third book's about, what that looks like, who that follows. But yeah, in this book, I really like, for this whole book series, I really like the kind of discussions around mental health, and I was kind of talking about it the other day, but especially in sport, in figure skating and hockey and any kind of sport, I imagine just the pressure and the stress and the mental health disorders that come out of it would be a lot. And I really appreciated those very raw, vulnerable insights into what mental health can look like and looks like for a lot of people outside of even playing those sports. So I really appreciated that. I just feel like every time I speak to this camera, this vlog, I don't know what is going on, but I just like can't manage to form a sentence. So I'm going to try this sentence again. I really hope that everyone finds a partner who is as loving and grounding and patient and kind as Derek is in this book, and that's what people deserve. And I'm going to leave it there before I start and then mess up another sentence. But yeah, I've read those two books, and then I have just started two other books. I'm kind of like back and forth between them. I'm currently reading Reverence, which I mentioned in my last video. I like just started it. I'm a little bit further along now. This is by Milena McKay, and this is about two ballerinas in the 80s. One is like the star of like the Paris Ballet Academy, and then one is like the star of the Russian Academy, and the two worlds come together with these two coming to the same studio in Paris, and I'm really intrigued to see where it goes. It's written really well so far, and I did see someone's review that it was really sad, so gonna see how we go. I don't know how well I'll take it, but it's sapphic, there's ballet, it's written well, so I'm in between that. And then Pit Stop by Kindle Unlimited always covers the name, Gian Wright, which this is a racing book. This is like between two main characters, so I should actually get up the names of both of them for you instead of just saying two main characters. I know from Reverence one of the names is, Juliet and Katerina. So Juliet, she's the one who's from Paris, and Katerina is the one who is from Russia, and Katerina is the one who has come to Paris. And then in Pit Stop we have Wilder, who he's a nepo baby of racing, and he is like, he's outwardly he's out as gay, as a gay racer, but something happens with his brother, and that's a lot of what the press want to talk about. And so we're following him, and then Reed, who's our other main character, who comes from a very wealthy, prestigious family background and is trying to make a name for himself in PR. And these two do not get along. They do not get along very well, besides when they're like hate fucking. And now they're working together, and so I'm really intrigued by that as well. So yeah, I'm back and forth between both of those. I'm about like 20% through both, But the reason I wanted to vlog and end this vlog on a high note, and maybe a potential helpful resource for you as well, especially if you're neurodivergent or if you just need to like get your life together, because my life is just like, oh, it's so not together right now. And like, that's okay. Life doesn't always have to be together, and I'm really trying to like sit with that discomfort. But I just kind of feel a little bit in this like transitional phase slash just trying to get like good routines in place, because I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but like I just feel like I'm so tired. But then because I'm so tired and because I've been in burnout for quite a while, I then kind of don't get up and like do routines and do things that I need to do that I know will ultimately make me feel better. And so then I feel like worse. It's just like that perpetual cycle. And so I'm trying to start this week. I got up at 5:30 this morning. I went to the gym. I'm just trying to get into a better routine. And part of that was trying to get into a more creative routine as well. One with actually holding myself accountable and like journaling and actually committing to learning Korean, because my procrastination, my ADHD is just like through the roof at the moment, and I just like for the life of me can't start something even though I want to. Even if it's like picking something to watch, it is like hell right now. And so I got something, and I had actually ordered this a few weeks ago. Like, I want to say I ordered this around my birthday actually, so it's been a month. It's taken a lot longer than it should, considering the company's from Townsville, which is a few hours away from me, but that's okay. I'm really excited, and the team was super lovely when I reached out for support, so that's okay that it took a while, but it's finally here. And if this isn't actually what I think it is, like, God help me, but I think it is. It is, if any of you guys have heard of Creator's Friend, so I saw this on Chloe is an Australian YouTuber. What's her actual channel name? I'll put her channel name up here, Chloe Bunny. Her YouTube, I saw her with this and I was like, oh my god, that is genius, and I need to know where that's from and I need to get that. And so it's a company, and they, I don't know if like the premise or the basis was around like ADHD kind of productivity planners, but it's essentially a like build your own all-in-one journal, which is just what I need. Like, oh, it comes in a little box. Okay, let's have a look. I will link them down below, but oh, so nice. So it's called Creator's Friend, and essentially what you get, oh my god, looks so beautiful, is you get a folio, and then in this folio you get all these different book inserts that you put in here, and so then you can just have it all in one. Because I find that if something is slightly inconvenient and not just like there for me to reach, I just won't do it. And that's a me problem. That's 100% not anything else's problem but mine. But I just thought, just to make my life easier, if I can have everything just be in one thing, then I can just allocate like 20 minutes a day to this one thing, rather than like being like, oh, I want to journal, oh, I want to do that, oh, I want to practice Korean. And then I do none of it because I'm just in decision like paralysis. So this is my folio, which I chose a very beautiful color. I'm very excited for. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Again, I saw this on Chloe's when she went to the library for one of her vlogs, and I was like, that is just the best thing I've ever seen. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so this is my folio, which hopefully you can see it in this light. So cool. Okay, it's got my instructions. It's this leather, I think it's leather. Maybe it's not, I don't know, but it's this leather folio. And then I also got a little charm, which, try and guess what charm I got. I don't know. Wouldn't be related to being gay at all, would it? No. I got a little rainbow charm, obviously. Had to do that. Oh, it's so cute. Can you even see that? I'm going to make you see that. I got a little rainbow charm to go along it because gotta make sure everyone knows that I like girls. And then this is my stack of books. So the book inserts I got, which they had like a certain amount and then you get free shipping, so I just did that certain amount, but I got a few. I got just a plain like sketch notebook. So this one I'm planning on journaling in, but it's just plain paper. I often like to journal on just plain paper because I like to make it really messy so that the perfectionist part of me doesn't fixate on what it's meant to look like. And then I have, it's this Fast Brain Friend. It's a daily productivity planner and it's more specifically for ADHD, which I need. And so it has like priorities, has like dates, and then it has like little different parts to get there. So this is the part, can you see? I don't know, that's better. It has different like habit trackers and stuff in it so that you can just, what does it even say? It's less, oh, that's cool. Okay, I need to look at this a bit better, but I got that one. And then I also got a rituals one, which is like a hobby notebook. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, love that. And it just has a bunch of different like hobbies that you can track in them. Wow, this is just like a lot of colors really. Oh my god, that is so cute. Wow, I don't know what, oh my god. It's just me saying oh my god. Look how cute these little pumpkins are. Can you see them? That's so cool. It's a little, anyway, that's my favorite. Can you see? I don't know if you can even say that, but it's got different hobbies. And then the one that I was most needing was this learning friend. So this one, because again, I've really been trying to learn Korean, but I just procrastinate. I got this one, so it has like different, just this light is not doing any favors for these books. It just has different topics, date, and then you can put all the different like term meaning in there. And so I got a pack of 3 of them because again, my main priority was really wanting to journal and then learn a language and then just like somewhat be able to plan and have a productive time. So those are the notebooks I got. I'm gonna obviously give this a go, see how I go, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to form a sentence right now, but I'm trying to just have some form of like routine and productivity and find like what works for me, because I like at work I'm pretty good because I have like a Notion set up and I go to that and that's like my organization for everything at work. But at home and actually doing things, I was really consistent with my habit tracker app, which was literally just called Habit Tracker, and then I fell off and then I deleted it because I was like, well, I've stopped it, can't continue it now. And then yesterday I have made a like notes app on my, well, I didn't make the notes app, but I've made like a morning routine on my, can you see that? I tried to make like a morning routine on my notes so that I can just tick, 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 and I have it there. And so I'm going to do this, but I'm going to make specific one for work and then when I'm not at work, and then I also am going to do the same thing at night. So I just feel like if I don't have it written down, I just won't do it. So I need to make that, or maybe I'll do a Notion. See, this is just where I'm just like, how do I organize my life? Like, help me. If you've had this problem, or if you really struggle with your ADHD and trying to get your shit together, please leave me your tips below. It would really be appreciated, because I'm just trying to figure out how best suits me and like what works for me. And I want to be someone who does it on like physical paper, because I really like touching physical paper. But convenience wise, my phone is just more convenient. So I'm trying to figure out a way that I can do it between both. Like maybe I do it on my notes app, or maybe I make a Notion page, because that's really fun to do. Anyway, this is me just trying to figure my life out, figure myself out really. And we've really gone off the topic of anything book related, but this is an exciting package that I've been waiting on. And I had something else to say. Oh, I got a really cool watercoloring in book as well, because again, I'm just trying to fix like my attention, not even my attention span, because I'm pretty good. Like I don't spend a lot of time on like social media, but I definitely am trying to like replace just always being on some kind of media with doing something as well, and like focusing on it. So I did get this really cool watercoloring book, which I think will be coming this week. And oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. That is what I wanted to tell you, but I'll finish this thought first. And I saw it in one of the people I watch on YouTube's videos, on her vlogs, and it looks so satisfying. So that should be coming this week as well. But the thing I did also want to update, one of my really good friends, she's just come back from being overseas, and I saw her the other morning for breakfast just to catch up, because it was a surprise that she was back. And she surprised me with a Conan Gray ticket for his concert in September, which I was like actually shocked. Like I was speechless. I've never been surprised with a concert ticket. And it was just the sweetest thing anyone has ever done for me. I was like, wow, this is so thoughtful and so kind. And yeah, I actually can't believe I'm going to see him. So I also have Conan's concert coming up at the end of September. And then I have Noah's concert, and then I have Harry's, and then I have BTS's. Like I love having concerts lined up, because it just gives me something to look forward to. And yeah, this is one I wasn't even expecting, and I'm just so incredibly grateful for the people in my life and for the thoughtfulness to even do that. So that was a really big surprise, and something that, again, so grateful for and so thankful for. But anyway, that's enough of my rambling. That is what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to give an update on About to Bloom and then what I'm currently reading, and I wanted to do a little unboxing with you. I'm going to work out how to put this together, but that's what I'm going to spend my day doing. I'm going to do that, get my life somewhat organized, try to anyway. Maybe I'll make a Notion page, actually. It's probably a good idea. And then I'm going to edit this vlog, and I will see you guys in my next video. As always, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're reading a really good book. Let me know what you're currently reading. If there's anything you think I should be reading, please let me know. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for being here, for your time, and I'll see you all then. Bye.